Hello everyone, myself Forum Makwana, Assistant Professor of EC Department at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. In last session, we have started unit number 2 as per the GTU syllabus of satellite communication, that is orbits and launching method. We have studied Kepler's law and the orbital elements. In this session, we will cover apogee and perigee heights and the different cause of orbital perturbation. First, we are starting apogee and perigee heights. Now, as we know that apogee is the farthest point from the earth and the perigee is nearest point to the earth. But as per the orbital elements, there are total 6 orbital elements: semi-major axis, eccentricity, argument of perigee, right ascension of ascending node, inclination angle, and the mean anomaly. But out of these 6 orbital elements, the apogee and the perigee heights are not specified, but they are often required. So, the length of the radius vector at the apogee and the perigee can be obtained from the geometry of the ellipse. How? If we want to find the apogee and perigee heights, first we have to calculate the radius of apogee and the radius of perigee. RA stands for radius of apogee and the RP stands for radius of perigee. It is calculated from the center of the earth. This is RP and this is distance from this point to this point is called RA. Okay, so RA is equal to small a in bracket 1 plus e. Small a represents semi-major axis and small e represents eccentricity. Similarly, RP is equal to a in bracket 1 minus e. The only difference to calculate radius of apogee and perigee is over here plus sign and over here minus sign is present, right? Let us take one example. First, calculate the apogee and perigee heights for the orbital parameter. E is equal to 0.0011, A is equal to 7192.335 km, and the radius of earth is given as 6371 km. How can we able to calculate the height of apogee and perigee from the radius of apogee and perigee? I will explain it to you with the help of this example. We know that E stands for eccentricity and the small a stands for semi-major axis. Okay. As per the above formula, radius of apogee and radius of perigee, I have simply placed over here RA is equal to A in bracket 1 plus E. Value of A is given 7192.335. 1 plus E. E stands for eccentricity, as it is given as 0.0011. So we get the value of RA as 7200.607 kilometer. Okay. Similarly, we can obtain the value of radius of perigee. Same formula, the only difference is over here minus sign will be present. 7192.335 in bracket 1 minus eccentricity, and you will get 7184.063 kilometer. So this is the value of radius of apogee, and this is the value of radius of perigee. Both have units in kilometer. Now we want to calculate the heights for apogee as well as for perigee. We know that radius will always be calculated from the center of the earth. Okay, so if we want to calculate the radius of perigee, then center of earth to this distance. So this whole portion is radius of perigee, and if we want to calculate the height of the perigee, we know the total distance. Okay, and we have to calculate only this portion. Also, the radius of earth is given, that is 6371. Can we say that this portion plus this portion is equal to this total portion, right? So the height of perigee plus radius of earth is equal to radius of perigee. So we have placed the formula, that is height of apogee is equal to radius of apogee minus radius of earth. We get the value of radius of apogee as this. Simply we have to put this value over here, minus radius of earth is given 6371 kilometer. Then we have to place this both value and we have to subtract it. We will got 829.6 kilometer. Similarly, for height of perigee, same. The total portion is radius of this is for radius of apogee, this is for the height of the apogee, this is the radius of earth. As we have calculated over here, we can simply place the perigee instead of apogee. So you will get 813.1 kilometer. So this is the height of perigee, 813.1 kilometer. This is the height of apogee, that is 829.6 kilometer. You can get the difference that height of perigee is smaller than the height of apogee, because apogee is the farthest point from the surface, from the earth. Okay, now we are focusing on the next topic, that is orbital perturbation. Perturbation means a deviation, and if we are saying orbit perturbation, that means deviation in the orbit. Then what are the reasons for the orbit perturbation? The first reason is irregular gravitational force around the earth due to non-uniform mass distribution, because the earth's magnetic field also causes the orbital perturbation. Second is the main external perturbations come from the sun and the moon. As we know that a satellite is moving around the earth and the earth is moving around the sun. So gravitational force of sun is also impact on the satellite. So when satellite is nearer to this external body, it receives a stronger gravitational pull. the low orbit satellites get affected due to a friction caused by collision with the atoms and ions. As we know that the earth has a different layers of atmosphere like troposphere, stratosphere, ionosphere. So in ionosphere it is composed of different atoms and ions. So if any of the satellite is nearer to the earth surface, that is called the low earth orbit satellite, as we have discussed in the first session. So that satellite, that is low earth orbit satellite, gets affected because it is nearer to the surface of earth due to the friction caused by the collision with the atoms and ions. Fourth is solar radiation pressure affects a large geosatellites which use a large solar arrays. Why? The reason is the height of geostationary orbit is approximately, or you can say ideally, 36,000 km, and practically it is 35,786 km, which is farthest from the earth. For that, it requires a power supply, a large amount of supply from the solar panel, and it will get it from the sun. But due to the solar radiation pressure, it affects a large amount of geosatellite. The fifth one, the self-generated torques and the pressures caused by RF radiation from the antenna. It also impacts on the orbit. Apart from this parameter, an orbit described by Kepler is ideal as the Earth is considered to be a perfectly sphere, but the actual shape of the orbit is a non-spherical. So, the force acting around the Earth is centrifugal force, and this force is supposed to balance the gravitational pull of the Earth. As this force also plays an important role which affects the motion of the satellite. Apart from the gravitational force of Earth, the gravitational force of Sun and Moon along with the atmospheric drag will also drift the orbit. How? That we will discuss in the next slide. And the effect of Sun and Moon is more pronounced on the geostationary Earth satellite, where the atmospheric drag effect is more pronounced for LEO satellite, that is low Earth orbit satellite. What is atmospheric drag? That I will show it you in the next slide. First, we are focusing on the effects of non-spherical Earth. Ideally, the shape of the orbit is spherical, but practically, the Earth shape is a non-spherical. So it will cause some variation in the path followed by the satellite around the primary body. So it will cause the satellite to drift as a result of regression of the nodes and the latitude of point of perigee, which is closer to the Earth. So the orbit itself is moving with respect to the Earth. The resultant changes are seen in the value of argument of perigee and the right ascension of ascending node. So, according to the Kepler's third law, and for a spherical Earth of uniform mass, the mean motion is calculated as n0 is equal to under root of mu upon aq. Over here 0 represents the perfectly spherical earth having the uniform mass. Mu stands for geocentric gravitational constant and small a stands for semi-major axis. However, it is known that the earth is not perfectly spherical. There is an equatorial bulge and the flattening at the poles. So that shape is known as an oblate spheroid. When the earth oblate is taken into account, then the mean motion, which is denoted over here, is calculated as n0 in bracket 1 plus k1 in bracket 1 minus 1.5 sine square I upon a square in bracket 1 minus e square raised to 1.5. Over here k1 is a constant, n0 is the mean motion for a perfectly spherical earth, I stands for inclination angle, a stands for semi-major axis, and the e stands for eccentricity. The value of k1 is 66,063.17 km square. The effect of Earth's oblateness is negligible on the semi-major axis, as the mean motion is readily calculated. The orbital period, which is taking into account the Earth's oblateness, is known as the anomalistic period, which is represented over here as a PA. PA is equal to 2 pi upon n. N is mean motion and the period is calculated in second. Okay. Now let us take one example. A satellite is orbiting in the equatorial plane with the period from perigee to perigee is 12 hours. The centricity is given as 0.002. Then we have to calculate the value of semi-major axis. Over here the Earth's equatorial radius is given as 6378 km. Now we know the value of P. P is given as 12 hours. First we have to calculate the mean motion, that is small n. So from this equation n is equal to 2 pi upon p, we get the value of mean motion, and as per the Kepler's third law, that a cube is equal to mu upon n square, right? Value of mu is geocentric gravitational constant, n is from this, and you will get the value of semi-major axis as 26,610 km by solving this equation. Now the atmospheric drag. Atmospheric drag, it is mostly pronounced for LU, that is a low Earth orbit satellite. The impact of this drag is maximum at the point of perigee. This drag has an effect on velocity of satellite because due to the atmospheric pressure, it will reduce the velocity of satellite. So a satellite will not reach to the apogee height. So it will cause a change in the value of semi-major axis and the eccentricity. And we know that These two parameters, semi-major axis and the eccentricity, defines the shape of the orbit. So the shape of the orbit will also changes. Okay, so these are the cause of orbital perturbation. Over here, unit number 2 is finished. These are the references. Thank you.